What's up, guys? Slaughterfit's back here with another video. This time I have another Skyrim build for you guys. This time we're going to be doing a Alik'r Swordsman build. If you don't know, the Alik'r are a faction from the province of Hammerfell. Hammerfell is where the Yokudan / Redguard now reside after their original continent of Yokuda sank. And so yeah, you basically only interact with them, if I remember correctly, you basically only interact with them in that one quest in my time of need, where they're looking for a lady that I guess committed treason against the Alik'r. I don't know if the Alik'r are an extension of the government or just kind of like a faction that gets employed by the government. I don't really know the whole, lore behind it. It's been a while since I've gone deep into Redguard lore. But, to sum it up, they're a faction from Hammerfell, and this is what they wear. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So the inspiration for this build is that people kind of hate on the Redguard a lot. They say, worst race in terms of lore, which I just think that's blasphemous. I think the Redguard are awesome, but whatever. And people also say they have one of the worst abilities in the game of rapid stamina regen. I would argue that this is actually one of the better ones in the game, in my opinion. I would personally put it in my top 3. Because unlike something like rapid magicka regen, I mean, that's definitely helpful, but to me, like, my characters that I'd have that on have so much magicka already, it's less useful. Opposed to this guy, I can just do infinite power attacks with him, basically, because, I'm not going to do the ability right now, I'll save it for later. But if I do the ability, I basically have infinite stamina, so I can do infinite power attacks. So I'd say it's pretty comparable to the orc ability of more damage, because basically it just allows you to you can basically do infinite power attacks, which obviously are more damage. So I actually make the case that it's a really good ability. So this is kind of, build based around stamina and quick movement. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So for weapons, this guy uses double scimitars. The scimitars, I'd say, are actually really good swords in the game. They look fucking dope, and there's no way to like craft them or anything. You have to get them like from a Redguard, or I don't really think other people carry them. They might though. Anyways, really cool looking swords, do a decent amount of damage when you upgrade them fully and have some enchantments. So mine both do 171 with enchantments and upgrades. And I enchanted this one so it absorbs health and stamina, 22 points of health, 28 points of stamina. Just another way to, gain more stamina. Basically, this guy's like a infinite stamina glitch. I have, perks to have more stamina. I have, enchantments. I have the ability. Basically, this guy's like an infinite stamina glitch. And then this scimitar I enchanted so it has the chaos enchantment, so 50% chance of fire, frost, and shock to do 28 points of damage. It could be all of them, it could be none of them, it could be a mix of them. And then I also gave this one paralyze. I will also say there is one quest when in the Dark Brotherhood quest line, when the Emperor is on his ship and you go to assassinate him, there is a unique scimitar that has an ability where it knocks people down, and that scimitar is kind of glitched. It works like too well. You can basically infinitely knock people down, and if you pair it with paralyze, then it's basically like all opponents just like can't fight back, and it's pretty OP. So, but I think I'm gonna save that for a later build. Yeah. Alright, and then, so sadly, the Hammerfell / Redguard apparel isn't any form of armor, it's just clothes, so it has a 0 armor rating, which is pretty annoying, and frankly to me doesn't make a ton of sense. I mean, it looks like it has some light kind of, leather padding on it. I think it could definitely be classified as like one of the worst, or one of the not as good, light armors. And, it is kind of just fabric, but I'm sorry, if the Torturer's hood, which is literally just like a leather hood, is armor, I think this could be considered armor. This is just, a cloth hood. I mean, what is the real difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like this should be light armor, but technically it's not. It's just, clothing. So you're going to want to use ebony flesh for this guy, so you have some armor. Oops. don't dual wield it. I don't have enough magicka for that, but you want to, you know, of course, use ebony flesh, like I said, because, you know, you don't really have any armor. And so going into, you know, what I enchanted the apparel with, I enchanted the hood, so alteration and restoration spells cost 28% less to cast, so I could do ebony flesh and fast healing easier. I did these gloves, and I'm kind of realizing now these gloves kind of don't work the best. They kind of glitch out with this arm piece. I kind of thought this was just like, I didn't really realize the sleeves went this long. I didn't realize there was this extra leather piece on the end. I thought it was just like these, you know, top sleeves when I was making this build. So yeah, it kind of clips with the Hammerfell garb, so maybe you could try using like the gilded wrist guards or something that's more on the wrist that would like be over the top of this. But you know, whatever. And so I enchanted it so one-handed attacks do 45% more damage and my magicka is increased by 70. And then I enchanted the golden diamond necklace so my health regenerates 35% faster and one-handed attacks do 45% more damage. And then the gold diamond ring so my health is increased by 70 points as well as my stamina. Hammerfell garb, which I think is some pretty cool looking attire. I enchanted so my health regenerates 35% faster, increases your health by 70 points, so basically, you know, just boosting my health in general. And then Redguard boots increases your stamina by 70 points, stamina regenerates 35% faster, basically the same thing but to stamina. So just boosting health and stamina because, you know, so I can do more power attacks, and because I don't have armor I need more health. Like you can see that ebony flesh has an armor rating of 300, which is like decent armor without any enchantments. Yeah, one thing I will say, you know, complaining about this outfit, I think it's one of the coolest looking outfits in the game. Maybe it's for some lore reason, maybe there's something in the lore about the Alik'r wear blue head wraps, but me personally, I think the blue like really does not fit like the color palette of the rest of the outfit. I definitely feel like it should be like a tan or a brown. I don't really get why they decided to make just the head wrap blue and like no other part of the outfit blue. You could use is his name Nazir? Nazir in the Dark Brotherhood has like a red head wrap, but his might have an enchantment on it already. I kind of forget, but if that's more your vibe and you'd like a red one, he has that, and it might just be called like Dark Brotherhood wrap or something. I forget if it has a name. So for alteration, you're going to want to max this sucker out, basically with the exception of master alteration, because you don't need master alteration for ebony flesh, but you want to get all the way through expert and get Atronox to absorb 30% of magicka that hits you, just kind of, you know, helpful, and, you know, makes you take less damage. Mage armor 3, so the ebony flesh is stronger. Stability, so the spells last longer and you don't have to keep doing ebony flesh. Magic resistance 3, so you block 30% of spells effects. Just makes you, you know, obviously more resistant and more resistant towards magicka, so you can take more spells. And then I also actually put a decent amount into restoration just because, you know, he doesn't have any armor, so he's gonna need it. Because this is not like a mage where he's, you know, far, you know, he's stepping back and just launching off spells or letting, you know, Atronox fight for him. This is a guy that is running straight into battle and, you know, using his own two hands to defeat enemies, but, you know, doesn't have a ton of protection because of, you know, the lore-based attire. So I got Novice through Apprentice, so I can do fast healing easier, as well as dual casting and recovery too, so magicka regenerates 50% faster. And then regeneration, so spells cure 50% more. And this is probably the most crucial for this build, get respite, so they also restore stamina. And then finally for one-handed, you're gonna basically just want to max it out, so get Armsmen 5, so they do twice as much damage, and dual fury, so dual wielding attacks are 35% faster. And then dual savagery, so dual wielding power attacks do 50% bonus damage, which is actually a lot. I think people don't really appreciate the the damage output of the, like, I'll just demonstrate it for you guys. Oops. This attack actually has an insane damage output. That 3 strike, like, it basically is like all one attack. And it has insane damage output. I would say it definitely has the best damage output of like any attack in the game. I don't know where he is. He's somewhere over there. The Boethia cultist pulled up on me, who actually has a decent amount of health, and I'm on the highest difficulty in the game, Master, and I killed him with a single one of these. Oops, a single one of these. it is a lot of damage. So dual savagery is definitely the perk to get if you're going to do this build. And then you're going to want to max out Bladesman. Oops, goddamn, I can't even get on it. You're going to want to max out Bladesman so attacks with swords have a 20% chance of doing even more critical damage. And then fighting stance, so it costs less, 25% less damage to do power attacks. Savage strike. I will say with this though, I don't know if that applies to the dual-handed ones or dual wielding ones or just like that. I'm not sure. I think it applies to both though. And then, of course, you know, you guys have seen me go over this a million times, but get critical charge, so you can do a double, what am I trying to say, a one-handed power attack while sprinting that does double critical damage. Get this, you can decapitate your enemies, and bonus 25% bonus damage for power attacks. And then, finally, paralyzing strike. Backwards power attack has a 25% chance to paralyze the target. Alright guys, we're here in Whiterun to test the build out against some guards. I am on the highest difficulty of Master, so, you know, you'll see it, you know, from that perspective. To be honest, if I was playing on one of the lower difficulties, you know, these would probably all be one-shots, so, yeah. So, as you can see, guards are pretty strong enemies, and even on the highest difficulty in the game, that was barely even a one-shot. That was like he got taken out in the first 2 strikes of that 3-shot attack. So let's test it out against some other guys. That was basically a one-shot, and that's a much less powerful attack. This is fucking these guys up really viciously. Alright, let's go to Riften. There's more guards in Riften. Alright guys, we're here in Riften to test the build out against some guards. Riften just has a lot more guards. I kind of forgot Whiterun why I don't go there, is there's like weirdly not very many guards.
I challenge you to a duel.
Alright, well let's see how good we could fare against this wizard guy. So he's a one-shot too. So basically seems like this kind of triple attack will basically get anyone. You know, I've, on my, you know, main playthrough that I played for years, which was basically almost this exact build except I wear heavy armor, I got to the point where I was basically one-shotting dragons with this. I am not gonna lie to you guys. I played on expert on that playthrough, not master, so that could, you know, could have been what made the difference. But it kind of, you know, that's what I was saying about this is kind of like the most overpowered, or, you know, the best damage output attack in the game is this triple spinning one. See, I only landed 2 there and she's basically dead, and then I only have to do like a couple normal attacks and she's, you know, donezo. Watch this. I mean, I can just let this guy come up, you know, hey, come over here. You can even hit me a couple times. You know, I don't have very good health, I mean, very good damage protection, so, you know, did a lot of damage, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I even forgot to do the ebony flesh. It just doesn't even really matter. I don't even really need it that much. So I don't know what is with the lack of guards right now. When I've filmed videos in Riften before, there's been like 20 guards, and that was like 4. Same with Whiterun, there was like 2 guards. So I don't know. I don't know if this is some glitch or I'm just doing something wrong. This seems like another guard over here. Whenever I run out of guards, I'll just end the video there, because I feel like you guys have kind of, you know, seen what this build is already. Yeah, see, one shot. I mean, there's just nothing you can really do. And that's why, I mean, you know, being a, you know, a tank, like, double-handed, you know, or two-handed weapons is, you know, has a really good damage output and feels a lot more, like, impactful when you, like, club someone with some, you know, Daedric Warhammer. But I'm gonna be honest, the best damage output in the game is from being a dual-wielding guy, and a fast dual-wielding guy at that. So, I guess, you know, I never even really got to test out the stamina things because there's so little guard for some reason. So I'll just show you guys what it looks like. You basically get this, and then your stamina regenerates almost instantly. Like, I can't do power attacks fast enough to, like, run out of stamina. So it's basically, you know, just infinite stamina, so I can just do non-stop power attacks. And after a couple of those, I think, you know, at least at the stage I'm at with this build, I mean, a couple of those would take out, like, any enemy in the game. And that's what I was really finding with when I had a dual wield playthrough is fighting someone like Harkon. Like, I know he's the, you know, the weakest boss, but Harkon I've always found like part of that fight is kind of like catching up to him and like landing hits because he like moves around so much, especially in his vampire form. Opposed to this is like I run up, hit him with like 1 or 2 of these, and he's already done and goes on to like his next spot or whatever where you have to take out his health again. Like you mow through his lives pretty quickly. So this is, I don't know. I would definitely say dual wielding is kind of the way to go. Scimitars are one of the coolest weapons in the game. Dual wield 2 of them, especially like in first person. It just looks fucking dope. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. You can kind of do like pirate vibes, Redguard, Swordsinger vibes. If you don't know what that is, you know. There's a lot of stuff to do with Redguard lore. Also, just kind of they have like a pirate kind of, you know, sailor feel. So there's just a lot you can do with them. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this build down below in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. People have been giving some good comments on builds they'd like to have me make in the future, and I'm definitely planning on doing all the requested builds. So if you have some that you want to see me do, please comment down below, and I'll be happy to do them. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, peace.